So, are there any questions? Yes, Professor Harrison, you're saying that the periodic table is predictive. What exactly does that mean? I mean, I understand how it organizes the elements, but with prediction, okay, let's look at the periodic table again. Okay, it is a group of elements in the categories that share certain properties, right? And it's arranged according to increasing atomic number, which is the number of protons in each atom of an element, right? Where our versions of the periodic table had gaps and missing elements. Every time you had one more proton, you had another element, and then oops, there have been atomic number for their known element. The prediction was that the element with the atomic number is somewhere, but it just haven't been found. And its location in the table would reveal what properties that you should have. It was pretty exciting for scientists at that time to find these missing elements and confirm their predictive properties. Actually, that reminds as a very good example of all these elements 43 on the table, the symbol for elements 42 and 44 where in early versions of the parent where there was no symbol for element 43 proton because no elements with 43 proton had been discovered yet. So the periodic table had a gap between elements 42 and 44. And then in 1924, a team of chemists led by scientists man attacks claimed they found element 43. They have been using a relatively new technology called X-ray spectroscopy, and they were using this to examine an ore sample, and then claim that they found an element with 43 proton, and they named it Mazurian. Now, Professor Harrison, then how come in my period team here, element 43 is a TC, that's a technician, right? Okay, let me add that. Actually, that's the point I'm coming to. How did anyone believe that the text discovered that the new elements, X-ray spectroscopy was a new method at that time? They were never able to isolate enough from the rim to have a whatever sample to convince everyone, so they were discredited. But then, 12 years later, in 1933, a different team became the first to synthesize the element using the cyclotron. And that element had 43 protons. That's right, but they named the technician to emphasize that it was artificially. People thought that the synthesizing this artificially was the only way to get it. We still haven't found it currently in major. Now, element obviously would be called margarium. Our technician is radioactive. Why does that matter? Was it true of radioactive elements? It's the case. It turns into the elements. Oh, so does that explain why we're missing in periodic table? Exactly. Because of radioactive decay, element body rate doesn't last very long, and therefore if that it decay ages ago. So the Missourian people were obviously wrong, and the technician people were right, right? Well, what's that then? Now we know that element 43 does occur naturally, and it can be naturally generated uranium material and spread. And guess what? The ore sample that the museum group was working with had plenty of uranium enough to spread the museum. So tax team might very well have found a small amounts of museum generated from uranium to decay very quickly. And here's an incredible irony. Ida Tax is a chemistry museum, and she was the first to suggest that the uranium could break up into small pieces. But she didn't know that was the difference of her own discovery of element 43. So is my personal period table wrong? Should element 43 really be called a Mazurian? Maybe, but no, it's hard to tell for sure after all this time if either tax group did discover element 43. They didn't. published enough details on their method of instruments for us to know for sure. But I like to think element 43 was discovered twice. As a material, it was the first element discovered that occurs in nature only from spontaneous vision. And technician, it was the first element discovered in laboratory. And of course, it was an element that periodic table led us to expect existed before anyone had found it true medium.